Hey everyone, welcome in. This is Julie Maxon, the Maine Stamper. I'm here for your Monday weekly card class from Maine, of course, right? And we have some really fantastic cards. This is actually part 2 of our card class from last week. So if you remember last week or you watched last week we covered the Petal Park Bundle. I keep wanting to call it Pretty Park Bundle. Last week we covered the Petal Park Bundle, and that was a stamp set and a punch, which goes with the Regency Park Suite. We're going to get this straight. This is a Monday already. Here we are, 8:01. It's already Monday. Make sure you're saying hi as you jump on, because I want to make sure that I am live and I am volumed today, right? Okay, I think everything's going good. All right, let's start this again, just in case you haven't seen this. Welcome in, everyone. This is Julie Maxon, the Maine Stamper. We are doing this weekly card class from Maine. I come live every Monday at 8, and you never know what's going to happen, right? Today's class is the Sentimental Park Bundle. This much I do know, and we have some gorgeous cards. I'm going to flip through really quickly and show you one of these. And I should probably see my camera so I can make sure I'm showing you cards. This one, so much fun. And this is paper you may not recognize. This is actually kind of like you're going to be making either or of these from your card kits. And I'm going to show you how. All of these details are going to be in this awesome and amazing card class. So thank you so much for joining me for card class today. Let's get over to my workspace so we can start talking about all of the awesome things. And hi Sandra, so glad you're here. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right, we're going to go to my workspace so we can talk about this whole card class today. Let me get us over there. All right, we are transitioned. Here we go. So again, these are the cards that are going to be in the card kits, and I'm going to show you step by step how to make these. They're going to be so beautiful, so fabulous. So of course, with your weekly order using my host code of $35 or more before shipping, this is your card kit selection right here, just like this. You're going to get 2 card bases in each package. You got 2 envelopes. You've got parts that are already die cut for you, embossed if they need to be embossed. What I do not do is I do not do anything on the cards that has to do with the actual bundle that we're using today. So let's talk about the bundle that we're using today. And this is the Sentimental Park Bundle. So this one is stamp set and dies, and these again are photopolymer, just like the ones we had last week. This one is very heavy on the sentiments, like, right, take out sentimental and you got sentiment. So a lot of sentiments in this one, whereas last week when we did Petal Park, this was all imagery. There were no sentiments. So I actually used sentiments from this stamp set last week just so we could have sentiments on our cards, which used the builder punch. So this was last week, Petal Park. And if you ordered with me last week and you qualified for my freebie, you got the adhesive back milky dots. Now I am going to be using these on these cards again today. So if you have these coming and you want to get this week's kit as well, you're going to be able to use these again on your card kits. And I'm also offering this week with a $50 order this beautiful, I mean, it's gorgeous ribbon. This is the it's called, yep, there's a name on here, in so many languages too. Let's see, bordered ribbon. It's right here, bordered ribbon, Night of Navy bordered ribbon. It's a really fantastic ribbon. It goes really well with this paper. And this is so funny because this is not the paper in the suite. The paper that we're using today actually is an entirely different paper, and I love to change things up. This is the Fancy Flora, and if you took my February Cardmaker Collective Club kit, you probably have a ton of this paper because I gave you a whole pack instead of a half pack, because sometimes I'm really nice and I give extra things away. So this is really fun, artsy type of paper, right? It looks like somebody took a paint palette and some paints, and that's exactly what they did to get the concept for this. Stampin' Up shows this kind of artistry at work randomly, and I thought that was fantastic. So we're totally going different from, let me see my card kits. This is last week's card kits, right? So we used the punch bundle, and we used the Regency Park papers. So totally different. I'm just showing you some of the samples from last week. Totally different, right? So we're going to use different paper because, again, I love to switch it up. So let's get going on these beautiful, fantastic cards. I'm so excited to share with you how these dies work because there's magic here. And I'm like, oh, I love the magic. All right, let me straighten around here for just a hot second. And we're going to get into this card making fun. All right, so again, make sure you're saying hi as you jump on. I love to know who's watching. You guys are so awesome. All right, we're going to start with this one right here. Moving things out of the way. Hopefully I'm not losing them. This is kind of like a take on, I did a very clean and simple card using the punch. So I just kind of want to compare them side to side so you can see. This one right here, and you can see they both have that really awesome new die. I'm loving this one right here, this big rectangle die. This is from the Radiating Stitches. Stampin' Up has a whole bunch of new things in their online store, and this is my go-to right now. I am loving this set of dies. And in fact, so I used them last week for this specialty card. And in your card kit, you're getting 2 of these die cut pieces as part of your card kit. So I kind of wanted to take a play on the same concept. So obviously white card base, we've got this Radiating Stitches matted piece. This one is my punched pieces, and it's very, very clean and simple. There's very little on it. I think this is a beautiful card and I love it. This one is my next card, and I wanted to make it not exactly the same. This one has die cuts from the Sentimental Park dies. So this is the dies that we're going to be using. So you're going to be getting the designer paper again in these great colors, and these little gems on here, these little embellishments, are from the adhesive backed Milky Dots, and they're the ones last week. If you watched, I said that these ones look kind of purpley to me. They're supposed to be pink, but they totally look purple. So I thought they looked beautiful with this paper, like absolutely gorgeous. So again, so if you're getting those, you're going to be so, you're going to love them. They're so beautiful. So that is card number 1. Let's go ahead and put this one together. This one's going to be really quick and easy because I did a little ahead work, and this is pretty quick and easy card. So let's take a look at your kit. Of course, you're getting 2 envelopes, 2 card bases in the thick white. And I'm just going to pull out the things that I need. I have an extra white card base off to the side to make things quicker. You're going to get these stitched pieces already come to you just like that. You are going to be die cutting the greens with your Sentimental Park. You're going to be die cutting flowers. And I've already die cut some flowers. This is going to be your sentiment piece. This is going to be this piece right here. And then you've got your designer series paper, which in theory, I mean, you could use the other side if you wanted to, right? But I really like the purple. I think the purple is fantastic. So when you get this at home, I mean, this is, again, really, really simple. You're going to use this long leafy stem die, and you're going to die cut 2 of these because we've got 2 on our card front. And I already die cut them, so I do have a few done ahead, because sometimes my classes run so long because there's so much good information in them. All right, so you're going to get 2 of these. They're going to look just like this. 2 of them are going to go on this card. And you have paper to do this for 2 cards, so you're actually getting 4 of those. Then you're going to have, like I said, you're going to have this piece right here, which will die cut our little sentiment right here. And I can see that I have some leftover little bits in there, so I'm going to grab out something here to see if I can't get rid of some of those little leftover pieces in those little tiny holes. There's lots of little details here, some stitching and some really just elegant little flowers. So we're doing this in white, and we're going to stamp on that. And then you're going to have some cardstock here in white, because I'm keeping these white. Now, if you want to sponge these like I sponged my pink flowers, you could totally do that. You can make them whatever color you want. But you're going to be using 3 dies to create these flowers. There's this die right here, which is just, actually, it die cuts imagery from the stamp set, but we're not stamping. We're just getting plain white flowers. So it's going to do this one. We have this one, and we have one more, this one. These are the 3 flowers that you're going to die cut to make up these flowers here. And actually, I'm going to die cut one as I'm looking at this. I die cut 2 ahead, so we need to bring in the machine and do a little die cutting. So let us do that first. Let me move these guys out of the way. So when I create these card classes, I do try to use different products and different methods so you can get some good ideas on how to use everything. And I try to change them up because I never want them to always be the same, right? We want to change them up a little bit, try some new things. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these 3 little flowers through. So again, I'm not stamping. You could stamp if you wanted to. You could definitely add some ink to them and get them, and make them colorful. But I was trying to kind of mimic my very white plain card. And that kind of card is called Clean and Simple. And I struggle with clean and simple because I like layers and I like a lot of busy things going on my card. I mean, yes, you need a little space that's kind of restful to your eye, but I like to put a lot on a card. You know, I don't want to hold anything back. So these are flowers. I lost one. It did not come out. There it is. It didn't come out of the die right away. All right, so here's our flowers. We're going to bring all our flowers in, and I'm going to show you how I put the flowers together too. So I'm going to bring in my silicone mat because this makes it super handy to do a little bit of gluing. And so we've got our kind of our bases here, our background flowers. Let's bring in the card so you can see it again. It is so gorgeous. And we're going to bring in, now this is kind of fun. This reminds me of a sand dollar. It's got the 5 little points, but it's got kind of like little indentations in it. And probably, I'm not even gonna lift it up to the camera. Sometimes it's crazy to do that. Oh, I think I die cut a smaller one. Interesting. We're going to change this up completely. So when you're all done die cutting, you're going to have 3 big ones. You're going to have these sand dollar type ones, and then you're going to have these really thinly lined ones. And all I'm going to do is layer them on top of the other. I'm not using dimensionals, not doing anything crazy. I'm just putting a little bit of glue in the center. I'm not even really trying to line them up like matchy perfectly for their petals, but they are on there. I'll lift this up a little bit so you can see that they are on there. And then for the actual outline, I'm just going to very carefully just add a little bit of glue just around the circle in the middle. And these ones I do kind of line up a little bit with their, I think that's lined up with their petals. So I'm just going to hold that just for a second. And basically the center is glued and the petals, the rest of them on the outside, they're a little bit loose and flowy, which is kind of nice. So there's a little bit of movement there. Okay, so this guy's going on here and he's wiggling all over the place. And we're gonna do the last one. So again, these are very, I mean, there's not a lot of space here to add a little glue. So you just have to be very mindful of how fast does your glue come out. And like I said, I kind of try to turn these and catch the nooks where I think there should be, so the petals kind of match. And if they don't, that's okay too. All right, so I've got my little flowers all glued together. That wasn't too hard, right? Love it. All right, on our little sentiment here, I chose from the stamp set, Dear Friend. Let's Celebrate would be really nice in here. Thanks would be perfect in here. And of course, if you wanted to do smaller ones, you could too, but I really like to be able to fill up the space. So Dear Friend is going in with some Starry Sky ink. And I think I have my stamps, oh yes, I have them on my other shelf right now. Dear Friend. So let's try this out. And I don't have anything, oh, here, I'm just going to bring this in real quick. Just a scrappy scrap. Make sure I got my Dear Friend stamping kind of nicely. Okay, and here we go. We're going to just do this right on top of here. And yes, so choose the orientation that you think you want to have up or down. So basically I kind of like this little piece up and this over here down. So I actually did it the exact same way again. So this beautiful starry sky is really kind of almost like a navy. And I thought it would go really nicely with our navy ribbon, which I think it does. So there we go, there's that. And now we're basically on to assembling our card, and super easy too, because most of it's done for you. Again, you're just die cutting some flowers, and now we're going to do some gluing. So we're going to take this little strip of the Designer Series paper, and not sure why I covered my glue back up. I'm going to be needing it here for a bit. And then you can decide if you're looking at this, you're not sure which way do you want up, which way do you want down, but we're going to just put a little strip of designer paper here off to the side. And top to bottom, it should, you know, kind of be able to mat top to bottom, leave a little edge there as well. Now, if you wanted to, you could put this up on dimensionals. I just glued this one down. And I'm only adding the glue in the middle. I'm not going all along where the stitched edges are, because the reality is it's almost see-through and I don't want the glue to like seep out and cause problems. So I'm going to put this on the front here. And yes, it's covering a lot of my pretty paper, but it's going to give us a little bit of color here off to the side. Whereas my other card was so white that You know, it just, I'm trying to kind of create something pretty, but a little bit different. So you're going to see that this designer paper is going to fit here perfectly into this little stitched area here in this rectangle that's left behind. Again, you can decide which design of the paper you want up or down. There's really no orientation on this. It's just whatever is pleasing to your eye as you put it on to your card base works beautifully. All right, so we do have 2 of these gorgeous leafy stems, and we're just going to kind of crisscross them a little bit. Actually, we're going to trim them a little bit. Let me see if I can find my scissors. I trimmed them, so if you can see the difference here, because they're very long. So down here, this is the bottom, and down here, this is the bottom, right? So I took my scissors and did a little landscaping or gardening, whatever you want. I'm just trimming off some of this extra green here on the end because I didn't want them to be longer than this card, the designer paper, and I wanted to be able to get my flowers on the card without it being like way off the top. So they are long, but they're definitely something you can use on your projects. And I'm just going to crisscross them a little bit. And while I'm doing that, I am going to look for some tear and tape. I swear it's Monday. Pretty sure it's Monday. You know, and it's so funny because earlier today, I was more than ready. I was more than ready for 8 o'clock to come for this card show, this class. And I was like, yep, got everything. And then I came up just a little before 8 and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to do this, and this. All right. So at this point I've glued my little greens down. Now, if you don't like this little flyaway, the way that these little, these leaves are popping out, what I did was I just simply bent them over, added a little bit of glue, just like that. And then came back in, and I'm gonna press them this way because I'll probably get glue all over my fingers. The way my Monday is happening right now, we're gonna go with that. So there we go. They're much flatter, right? So that little bit of glue, certainly helpful. Now we're gonna add in some beautiful ribbon. Remember, this is the freebie ribbon too, and we're gonna measure out, I think about 11 inches maybe. Sounds good, right? We're making a swoosh. I like the swooshies. Now this ribbon is interesting because it will fray a little bit as well. So I found that kind of interesting. I am actually going to pick up, normally I don't pick the tape off of something that's this delicate, but if you start here on the end where it's just the designer paper and don't start over here where you're trying to pick it off of these little greens, you should be able to peel that and have that stay on there. So what I'm doing is I want to make sure I have enough tape for my swooshy ribbon. So I'm going to do the same thing again because I want this nice tear and tape down. So I'm peeling that off too. So now I have like a little crisscross here where I can put my ribbon. And a lot of times I'll take my ribbon just in my hands before I even start, and I'll just push this into thirds, just like this. You know, making a nice little, so you can see that it kind of goes right into thirds naturally. And then I'll hold the middle of it and I'll pop this onto my card base and see if it's in a good position or not. Now this can come right back off again. You can peel this off if you're not happy with it, and you can adjust it like, oh, maybe I want this to be over here a little, you know. So don't worry about once you've put this down that it's completely permanent. This is great tape to hold, but it's not, you know, there's some wiggle room here. So I wanted to share that with you. Now in the back of my little flowers that I glued together, we're going to add some dimensionals. So we're going to bring in dimensionals. Hopefully I have some because, you know, with it being Monday and all, I guess I have minis today. I have minis and edges, so we're going to go with some minis. It's nice to have options though, right? Okay, so I'm going to put 2 minis on each of these, whereas if I had the big ones right now, I would probably just put on 1 large one and call it good. So there we go. Now I'm going to layer them in here onto my stems. Now we have 2 stems, right? But we have 3 flowers. You can get creative and kind of pretend, right, that there is an extra flower stem in there somewhere. And we're going to be good that way. So let me get these little backers off of here. The small ones are harder to get off than the big ones. So I'm just going to play off of the first 2 tops of my leaves and stems here and just pop these 2 on the top. And again, you know what, that guy's going to go in the middle. I'm not quite as happy with him. He's definitely going to be middleman here on my card. All right, these two are a little bit nicer looking, so, you know, just in case we see those. So, and I'm kind of staggering the height of them as well, so that kind of just provides a little bit of interest. We're going to put this guy right down here, and he's going to overlap a little bit. So you can see that they're totally, I mean, two cards, right? Same concept, totally different. And this time, I'm going to cut some of these ends because I definitely need something more than minis here to do my sentiment, because we're going to pop that onto some dimensionals too. And get the backs off of here, and this is going to come right over top of our ribbon a little bit here, and you're just going to line up wherever you think looks good. So we have our ribbon peeking out a little bit. I think that looks a little crooked. I'm going to try to pick this up and adjust, and of course as I pick this up to adjust, everything is happening. Okay, we're going to go this way with it. Oh, much better. No, well, maybe not, but we're going to go with it. So there we have two gorgeous little cards. We're going to bring in our embellishments, these purpley looking ones. I think they're really purpley looking. And we're just going to add a few on here. These are they're just really kind of purple to me. I don't think that they're very pink at all. I'm going to change it up a little bit, I think. And just like that, that is our first card. Aren't they? Like, I just feel like this is just a pretty combination. It's soft, and I think this would be a nice birthday card for sure. So this is card number 1, and while you're looking at card number 1, I'm just going to pop over, make sure my messages are working. Hi, Jess. Hi, Patty. Hi, Linda. That's awesome. Okay, making sure that everything's a go. All right, so card number 1 is done. We did it. We managed to get through it. We're going to keep going here. And we're going to do card number 2. So this is the second card kit that I have for you for this week. And I just have to find the actual card now. Oh, this is a fun one. This is interesting because when you do this, you're actually going to make 2 cards that are the same but different. So this is kind of like, what's different on these, right? So again, you're getting 2 envelopes, 2 card bases. Now your card bases are both Night of Navy. And again, we're still using that really awesome designer series paper. And here's why things are going to be a little bit different. So you're going to see that you've got 2 pieces the same sizes. One's going to be in the blues and one's going to be in the flowers. So I'll put the flowers on top so you can see flowers. So I've got that set up for you. And I also have 1 Calypso Coral and 1 Night of Navy, so you can see them here for the sentiment pieces. And we're going to be doing one of these, and I just have to figure out which one we're going to do. You're going to have white, and this is so cool. This is where I'm going to show you how awesome the tags are. And then you've got some little pieces here that you're going to create some extra little flowers with the dies, so that's really awesome. But before we do all that, before we do the die cutting and the stamping, I wanted to show you how you're getting 2 different cards from the same kit. So here's 2 Night of Navy card bases. I already have them scored and ready to go. And here's where you get to play with your paper a little bit. So you're going to be basically putting these on here kind of just like this, because they only fit certain ways, right? So you're going to be playing, do I have that the wrong way? We're going to go this way. Yep, just measure, we're going to play along with your paper, and you're going to understand how this is all going to work out perfectly. So basically we're just putting the blue and the color opposite each other, right? So we have blue and blue, pretty flowers, and all of that good stuff, just like so. And oh, I see that I totally did this different too. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. So you can do it like, you know, there's so many ways you can do this. Now on my original cards, I had the top one up here and this one up here, down here, right? So I had a longer one this way. No, I just did that opposite because we need to switch them. Okay. And this is the fun that you're going to have at home, right? When you're playing with these, you're going to be flipping papers back and forth going, okay, I want this one here. I want this one here. Okay, so you can rotate. Maybe you want your paper to orient that way. So you can kind of turn them around a little bit, but you can see that you're going to get 2 color combinations so that you have 2 cards that are similar and yet different. And I just love these colors together. I just think they're absolutely beautiful. So pretty. So I'm feeling this one tonight. So we're gonna put this kit away off to the side, and we're gonna do this one. which is going to look similar to this one. So this is the one we're going to do. And I'm just going to start gluing these down. Now, of course, the back sides really don't go, but if you feel artistic and you want to work in something differently. So again, this is where you can kind of orient your paper in different directions, but we're going to go this way. And again, so you can put the dark blue on one side, the other. I think it looks good on the outside. So we're going to do this dark blue on the outside. So we're just kind of puzzle piecing these together, and it's creating our mat without having a mat, which is really nice. So again, I'm just kind of switching them up and down. If I wanted to, I could put this way. Nope, I could not on this one. I would have to take into consideration other pieces to the puzzle, right? I could bring in my other two pieces, and then I could go opposites. I could go here and here, which is kind of different, and I think I'm doing different. You know, I like to change it up. We're doing different. So we're doing different. So this is, again, same but different. And that's what is so awesome about these little card kits, is that you can change things up. You don't have to do the exact same. Change it up and have fun. I love that part. All right, so I'm just making sure everybody's on here kind of in a nice manner where there's a little bit of space in between each of the designer papers, and then the nice little edging all the way around the outside. Isn't that pretty? I just love this one so much. Okay, now let's talk about, so we're doing the navy one, and we're gonna use this piece, and then we're gonna use this piece. So the rest of these would be for my other card. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some die cutting, because I didn't get all my die cutting done. So I guess you guys are gonna be hanging out with me for a few minutes while I die cut. So that's exciting, right? Not every day that I'm always die cutting on here. All right, so these dies for the sentiments are so amazing. I cannot wait to show you how these actually work. We are going to bring in, I know you can't see because I'm kind of off center here. We're going to bring in the biggest die that has the floral arrangement. We're going to put that on the Night of Navy. We're going to bring in this kind of really just a plain die, right? It does have stitching though, so it is pretty. We're bringing that one in. And then on our little orange Calypso corally paper here, we're going to bring in 2 sets of just tiny little flowers. And this is what we're die cutting for this card. Let me make sure everybody's on board here. We're going to buckle up and we're going to head through. Back out for a second. Let's just adjust. The static is so crazy right now. Everything is like kind of flying all over the place, really. Okay, so here is our die cutting. And as soon as I get my plates unstuck here, I'm going to show you. So these are the little flower. I mean, there's so many little dies in this set, but these are going to create, even though there's 3 flowers on one little die, they individually cut out these cute little flowers. Love those. And then this is our bigger die that I was talking about. We did that in the navy. So pretty. And there's a few pieces we're going to clean up yet. And then this is our very plain Jane looking die. Let me move my little guys over there so I don't lose them. And promptly dropping things on the floor. Oh my gosh, so funny. All right, so I'm just going to kind of make sure that all of these guys are coming off my plate, and I'll move that out of the way. And here we go. Let's get rid of our scraps, and let's hope I can find my everything that I want. I want to find everything that I need, right? So I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. So again, all these little pieces are going to kind of come out. You can probably see all the confetti on my workspace here from all these little insides of the flowers. I'll poke at them a little bit as needed. So once they come out, they look like this. So you can see clean, and you can see very congested yet with all of the blue. So we're just going to get rid of those. And we're going to just kind of shove these out of the way, right? Oh, but not my flower, please. I need that. I need that later. Okay. There. I attempted to hit my garbage pail, which is nice. Whoa, a couple more. All right. Now, some of these have like little edges in here that are not going to come out, and that's perfect. Now, this, you could use this just like this. Of course, you could You can emboss. You could do some heat embossing on this. Let's look how pretty, right? This is just really pretty. But I totally did things different on this card. Now here's this, and if we layered it over the top, it's going to cover up. It's going to cover up some of our prettiness. But I wanted to show you that this has built in, I'm going to bend this back just a little bit so you can see. This has like a built-in space where you can slide this in and slide this in. And I just have to make sure I slide that in all the way. And then the stitching will line up on the outside edges. Here's what it looks like from the back. So it slides right in through those little slots that come with the die cutting. And look how pretty that is. Now it's like naturally seated in this die cut. I just think that is the coolest thing ever. I just love that so much. Now we're going to do Thinking of You. So again, I took some stamps from this stamp set, and I chose some of the bigger ones. So I've got Thinking of and You, and they are two separate stamps. So we are going to be stamping those down. I did Night of Navy on this card, and when I did the other card, which had the Calypso base, I did the stamping in Calypso Coral ink, so you can see that, you know, I'm matching basically the background here. All right, so let's bring in a couple of stamps. We need Thinking of, and we need You. And I'm going to be bold, and I'm just going to stamp right. I've already got this assembled. Don't really want to take it back apart. I mean, I could. It's very easy to come apart and go back in and what have you. But I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going to put Thinking of kind of here toward the top. So we have room for You. You is in capital letters, so it's like the shouty You. Now, when I lined this up previously, I lined up the U with the G that comes down. But this time I think I'm going to try a little differently just to see if I like it. I'm putting You off to the side, so I'm not sure which one you prefer, but you can line this U up underneath the G. I mean, you definitely could go a lot lower. I didn't want to space it too far down because I just wasn't sure that I would like that. Actually, we're gonna back this off because I do want to do one more thing with this. So I'm gonna try to get this out of here without doing any craziness. Set that aside. Let's bring in my fun paper again. The pretty paper, the one that we do all the things on, right? And I'm just going to bring in, what do I got here? Let's bring in a sponge dauber with Night of Navy. So I'm just going to deepen down the flowers here so that they look a little bit different. So when I bring this up, hopefully you can see this is the dark one, and then this one down here isn't done yet. So it's going to give me a little bit of contrast. So I'm just going to bring that dauber down and just add a little bit of ink there. Let me close that one up because we're good there. Now I can put this back inside, kind of tuck that in to that corner. And then again, it comes just right apart a little bit, and you tuck it in over here. And you can adjust it a little bit as needed, but I just love how it seats so nicely, and the stitching lines up just so perfectly. That is, to me, it's a really cool thing. All right, let us also, we're going to bring in all these little orange flowers. I'm going to sweep them to the side here and bring them in because these little things are so cute, right? But I wanted them to be a little bit darker, and I also wanted to add something more than just plain cardstock. So again, I'm going to bring in the Calypso Coral ink and a dauber, and we're just going to give these just a quick pop of color right over top. And that's all it takes, really, just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. Bring it to life. Okay. Now we can do our assembly. So we are going to, I'll move my paper, it's very distracting. Ribbon. Has anyone seen my ribbon? Like, okay, wait a minute. Oh, it's right here. Okay, good. Here it is. I found it. All right, we're going to cut ribbon. Now, in your card kits, I'm not sending ribbon because you're getting ribbon for free if you order 50. So if you don't have this ribbon, or you're not spending 50, or you're just making these cards at home, cut about 10 inches of ribbon. And you could definitely do all kinds of different things with ribbon, obviously, right? Lots of times we're making bows, but I thought this might be a nice card to make this little, like a loopy ribbon, kind of like this. I don't do those very often. I always see them on cards and think, wow, that's something I should do. I should be doing this too. I mean, like, I don't know why I don't do this. Sometimes I continuously go for the bow, which can be a little bit of a struggle, right? And I probably should have have a little bit more tear and tape. So we're gonna come back in with a heftier piece right there. Right, so I'm just holding that down and taping that down. Now this won't sit completely flat, and I don't want it to be completely flat. I want it to be kind of bouncy here. So depending on how big you want that to be, you can, you know, change that up. I just think it's a really nice way to do that. Before I put this down, I'm gonna actually, again, bring in my silicone mat and glue these little orangey calypso coral flowers down onto here, and just kind of randomly. Let me bring in a tool here because we're probably going to want that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue and pop that down, and a little bit of glue. We'll go here and we'll put one here. We shouldn't think about this too much. Sam was just talking about her 5-year-old daughter crafting with her, which I thought was fantastic. I love that so much. And I know that when kids create, they don't think, they just do. And as I hesitated there with like, where do I want this to go? I'm like, I remember kids are just, and their things look amazing. So don't stress over things here. This is supposed to be relaxing and fun, right? So just 3 and 3, just like that. Don't think about it too much. You don't have to. We're going to pop this on with dimensionals, which I do still see close by, and we're gonna be using the outside edges today because that's what I'm rocking here in my craft room. So we're just gonna chop up a couple of these. Nothing goes to waste, of course, right? And I think I want probably one more now. I feel like I'm a lot more generous though with the side ones than I ever am with the inside ones, because I'm like, I'm at the end and I'm just like, I want to use these so I can get out a fresh package. It's one of those kinds of deals. All right, so we've got a nice little bit of dimensionals here, and we're going to pop this onto our card. I'm leaving this tear and tape here. It does not have to go anywhere. And I'm just going to center this, and this is kind of a big piece here, a big element. It's going to really fill up side to side. You can see it goes all the way to here, and it goes all the way to here. It's really nice. It's a nice big piece here. And we're going to bring in, again, our little gems. I can see a runaway blue here. Wonder if he lost his sticky back. Nope, he's just wandering loose here on my sheet. So we're gonna bring in some of these really awesome blue embellishments. Again, these things are fantastic. These are the adhesive Milky Back dots. They were in the spring catalog. They are sold out. Last week during my my class offer, I had a few, and they're on the way to my lucky orderers last week. So you guys are going to get these. You're going to love them. So there we go. So pretty, right? And I changed it up. Like you can change. I love that it's changed up. So that is card number 2. And again, each of your cards are going to be a little bit different because you're going to have the petal, and you're going to have the blue. And I'm just, hi Melissa. I see Melissa's on here too. Yeah, these dies are so awesome. Really loving these dies. Okay, we're going on to card number 3, which I'm always like so excited about. Card number 3 is sometimes I save the best for last, but you guys will have to let me know what you're thinking for best for last. Let me shift that out of the way. Bring in card number 3. This is card number 3. And I just, again, from this paper pack, which is so artistic. I mean, there's so many colors in here. And some of these colors, this is the Fancy Flora. Some of them are so bold and so busy that I have a hard time using them. Like I can use the softer sides really well. Like those ones are so pretty. But the really, really crazy ones, I don't know, it's just, I have a harder time. However, this brown paper that's in this kit, this paper right here is probably my favorite. It's so awesome. I use this in my February Card Maker Collective Club. So you're getting 2 pieces. So you're going to see that they're basically from the same piece of cardstock. Now, of course, the back is also very pretty. Again, same color palette, but I really love this soft suede kind of milky white color, and it just it lended to me soft suede, and then of course Blackberry Bliss, rich raspberry. You got to have all the good things. So there's 2 card bases here. I have one pre-scored, so I'll be using that one today. And then I am giving you twine. So I did not use the blue ribbon in this one because obviously didn't quite go, right? So I am using some of this Baker's Essential twine. I used the crumb cake looking one. So you will get the twine. You'll get these in your card kit. So you can make a little bow here if you so desire. And of course, I don't have all of this stuff again. So we're gonna be doing this like this is the live action version. I've got Soft Succulent here. So sad that that one is leaving. Blackberry Bliss, Rich Raspberry, and I'm making sure, okay, I have all the things that I want. So these are all of your layering pieces. We'll use this one. This one has a little bit more white than this one. So we'll try that one tonight and see how she looks. You're going to have, oh, we're doing a little heat embossing on this one too. So awesome. All right. I'm just making sure I have everything that we need for a card, just one card. We're doing one card together, and I've already set aside my card base and lost it promptly. All right, so let's start with something easy. Let's start with ripping paper. Now this, obviously soft suede paper matches our card base. And if you're not a fan of ripping paper, but you want an extra layer, you can put on the extra layer. But for this one, I'm sending you this and I'm intending you to do a little bit of tearing with it. I kind of like that torn paper. I know it's not for everyone, so it's okay if you don't want to do that, but just, I mean, it doesn't take much to just rip down the side, just a little bit. And we're going to bring in my messy paper again because we're going to sponge the side. So you can see here how much more detail you're going to get on that edge when you bring in some ink and hopefully a blender brush. I had to break down and clean so many of my blender brushes. I think I was down to the last two and that were clean. And I have them in my bathroom. And in my spare bathroom. You may have seen something on Positive Paper Crafters over the weekend. I have them on like old towels to dry, and I put them down, you know, bristle side down so they can kind of drip down, and if there's any stains, it stains my towels just brief. It's water-based ink. It's not terrible. Well, my doggy got in there today and she thought that these were toothbrushes or something because she wanted to like chew on one, which was not fun. So I had to remind her that Mama's craft supplies are not her craft supplies or her dental hygiene either. So we just added a little bit of ink here along this edge, and we are going to make sure our card opens in the correct way before we put this down. And it's not for lack of, you know, chew toys and bones and all the things that dogs love, right? But she just thought that maybe she should chew on my blending brush. And, you know, in her defense, she probably needed to clean her teeth. So there we have it. So this just gives us a nice little look right here, and I just absolutely adore that. We have Blackberry Bliss, which is going to come on over top, and our paper. So you can see here, we're just really basic layering pieces. So I love that so much, but not enough. We're gonna keep going there. So when you get your kits at home, if you don't have or don't intend to use the same bundle that I'm using, you have the bones for some amazing cards. And I know I've seen some of them out there when you guys put these together and share them. I love it because I love to see what you come up with that's different from mine and yet has like the same, you know, obviously colors, paper, all of the good stuff, right? So we're just creating the background here of our card, and you can see this one has a lot more white going on. So that's just really kind of nice. We're going to stamp here before we die cut the rest of these because, again, I didn't get everything done that I wanted to do. So Soft Succulent on Soft Succulent, Blackberry Bliss on Rich Raspberry. So that's important. I experiment quite a bit when I put these card kits together. And I did try Blackberry Bliss on Blackberry Bliss, and this is that little open face stamp that we're going to die cut. The Blackberry Bliss ink on the Blackberry Bliss cardstock is so dark, it didn't show up well at all. So Rich Raspberry is just a sweet little cousin, little sister to the Blackberry Bliss. It works out beautifully, like so gorgeous. So we're going to pop that aside for right now, and we're going to bring in this little leaf stamp, again from our set. It's going to have a die that's going to cut that out quite quickly, and again, just tone on tone, so it's really quite simple. I'm not trying to take away too much from my design. So we're going to die cut those, and we're going to die cut our background pieces as well. And then we're going to do our embossing. Okay, we're doing really well now. I have to say that to myself. We're doing really well. Sometimes you need the cheerleader in the craft room to tell you, hey, you guys you're doing really well. I had in-person class on Saturday. So much fun. And I love telling my stampers how well they do. And it always amazes me too. Like some of them, oh my gosh, flying through. Patty came for the first time and stamped for the first time. She was amazing. Now, Patty is a scrapbooker, so she's not a stranger to the gluing and the, you know, the die cutting and all that good stuff. But she had never stamped before, which just kind of blew my mind because she did it so well. So out there in this, you know, if anyone's watching that's like, I could never do that, oh my gosh, you totally can. It's a lot easier probably than you think. So I mean, yeah, it's not too bad at all. All right, so similar to our last card, we have the bigger die cut with this one, but we're going to use it in a totally different way this time because I've actually turned it around, and I just wanted to show you another way that you can, I mean, like, right, you don't have to use them every time the same way. So I'm going to grab out the two dies that are going to match. Oh, this is always fun, right? Trying to find the petals that match the die. Okay, there we go. They're really pretty good at like notching a couple and making one skinny or one fat or something, so that there's kind of a clue as to which way the die should orient on the stamp, so that it die cuts out exactly in the right manner. So, all right, we are done with the die cutting today. We slide everything off here, and we have all of that beautiful stuff going on. Get rid of my scrappies. So here, just a really simple flower, right? Easy peasy. Now on this one, I'm going to bring in my card here again so you can see. We're going long way with it, right? So the last time we used it side to side, now we're going to go long way. So it's more of a portrait position. And I was playing with the card. It was not my intention to go portrait, but I did it, and then I thought, wow, this is so cool. I honestly can say that I don't know if I've seen any other designs out there. I mean, of course, there's always samples everywhere, right? That's not to say that there isn't, but I thought it was just kind of neat to have something so different. All right, so I'm trying to just clean this guy up again, just like last time, right? Clean him up. Now, we're not taking advantage of the little slides here. I'm actually just going to layer this on top because I want more of the white to show and less of this Blackberry Bliss. But we are going to doctor this up a little bit. So we're going to bring in my scrap paper, and we're bringing back in this Blackberry Bliss and the soft succulent. Now this stamp set has a really cool little stamp right here that, if I can find it, right here, is going to work beautifully on our white one. So let's set that aside just for a second. We're going to bring in, oh my goodness, do I not have a dauber out? I could have swore I darkened that down. Maybe I didn't. Let me look. Nope, we're not going to. I thought I darkened that, but I don't think I did. So no, never mind. We're not doing anything with that. Okay, change of plans. Making it simple. Okay, we are bringing in soft suede ink though, because we are going to put some different color on here, and I'm going to stamp off and then on, so it's a little bit lighter. I'm just going to go kind of, I'm going to do 3. They're not matchy. They're not, you know, kind of up and down a little bit, because my leaf and my flower are going to cover up quite a bit of that, but it's going to break up the white because there's a lot of dark color on this card, and putting a stark white in the middle of it is just, it's kind of neon almost-ish, right? So we're going to just glue these things down, and then we're going to do our heat emboss sentiment, which will just be very quick. So gluing this down, like I said, right over top this time. We've got all this beautiful stitching. I think dies with stitching are some of my favorite, absolutely. And then let's build our little flower and leafy on here too. So these are just going on flat. I am going to add some dimensionals to the back of this entire piece. Now again, this is where you have to decide which one is up and which one is down. I kind of like it this way. So you can play with it on your paper also to decide, like, maybe you want it that way. Maybe I do want it that way. Okay, we're true to form here. I do like to change it up a little bit during my live so that you can see other options. I don't want to create the same card because you can see it's right here. You see how it looks, right? If I change it up and do something a little different, then you can see what it looks like when I change it up. And I think that's always important because you're here to learn some new things and try out some new things. And I'm also doing the same. I love to try out some new things and change it up. And it just makes it so much more fun, right? So again, I'm chopping off these, chopping them off in quite large size pieces here because I'm being very generous. Well, I guess I'm going to need another one on the top now with these dimensional chunks. We'll call them chunks. These are the chunks left on the outside edges. And we're just going to pop these off of here. And this is going to go on. Now I put this on here and I kind of layered it off here to the side a little bit. You can definitely change it up however you want, but I wanted it to kind of come over to the side and just have it just like so. We have our little beautiful twine here. This is kind of a crumb cake, but it's just natural enough. We create a bow here with it. And it's kind of curly, and I know I have glue dots somewhere. This one's coming together nicely. I love this color scheme. It's not your typical, like a lot of people are out there, it's St. Patrick's Day week, so they're doing green cards, and it's Easter's coming, and they're doing Easter cards, but sometimes you need to something a little different. And I honestly feel like this could be a sympathy card too, and I know that those are not the fun cards to make, but it definitely has the color palette here that could be, kind of a little bit more downplayed. Now I have this piece of soft suede, and I'm bringing in my Emboss Buddy because of course we're going to just throw the powder on there. Now you can actually see the powder come out of this. I'm just kind of patting it on there. It's okay, that'll wipe off later. We're going to bring in the Versamark ink. Well, actually I should probably heat up my tool here real quick. My heat tool should be going off to the side so that's getting nice and toasty. All right, I'm going to bring in my white powder and we're going to Versamark this up. This says "You are amazing." So I like the small sentiments here, and there's quite a few in this particular stamp set that could work. And we're just going to center this on here. And there's my embossing powder, and I have a good old-fashioned clothespin. And it's time to make the powder shiny. And that's what the high heat does on your heat tool. So you definitely want, so you can see here, hopefully you can see here, amazing looks very shiny, right? You can almost not quite see the rest of it, but as we go along here, we'll heat up the whole thing. You are amazing. And the beauty part about this one is that if it doesn't turn out perfectly, it kind of fits the torn, ragged, kind of rough and tumbly look here that we got going on with this card. Now again, you can kind of wipe off the powder residue here that was left over from the Emboss Buddy. I like just cutting this in kind of a side-swiped manner, and I am going to bring in my ink one more time because I want to show you, I love to add ink. Like I am an ink fanatic, right? So this is the one that I put some ink around the edges, and this is the one that does not have ink around the edges. So there's like a really big difference, right? This one that I'm going to bring in my soft suede dauber, I'm just going to put ink around. It really helps this whole thing to pop and also to show up against, there's a lot of soft suede, there's a lot of browns going on here on this card. So we don't want it to be all super matchy, just like the outside edges where we tore the paper. Just adding that in there helps the white to really show up even better, which is so pretty. I love this one. All right, so this one, actually, this is one where I do want a mini dimensional because this is such a small piece of paper. And I'm going to actually put my dimensional on here, and then I'm going to glue this side where it's going to hit my flower area, and I'm going to take the backing off that and pop this on here and catch my dimensional here on the side, glue over here. So pretty. And then of course we need some beautiful So beautiful bling. Now, you could use the purple, which actually I did purple in the middle. And then I used this, these are like a white, kind of a whitish color. So I used more of those, but let's do the same again, right? I really like the purple for the middle of the flower. And this time I'm gonna add the purpley colored ones over here just to see how they show up on the soft suede. I'm sorry, this is soft suede. So there we go. Beautiful, right? So we have ones that have more of the clear color embellishments and ones that have more of the purpley embellishments. But these cards, I'm loving these cards. So let's look again one more time real quickly at cards from class. We have that version. We have this one where actually you'll be making one in blue and one in Calypso. So you'll have pretty much cards that look opposite, right? They don't look opposite here, do they? Because I switched them up. But you'll have this color scheme going on. So you'll have like the same little grid pattern. And then we had, oh my gosh, our first card. So pretty, right? So this is our look at the Sentimental Park Bundle. What do you guys think? Do you love these cards? I love these cards. I think the die set with the sentiment that goes together is so awesome. Thanks, Sandy. I'm doing well. Thank you. Some days I feel like I struggle so much. I am so ready to do a class. I know I'm a good card maker. There are just moments, right? I think we all have moments. So I like to be real and I like to be honest. And thanks, Jess. She loves the brown one. I do too. I did save the best for last then. I want to know what Melissa thinks of the brown one because I know Melissa and I know she loves the purpley tones. And I'm thinking Melissa might like that card too, but I could be completely wrong. You guys surprise me every now and again. You guys surprise me. Sandy, yes, your kits have mailed. They are on the way. I will be sending your email with the PDF tutorials probably a little bit later tonight. And then when you get your kits, you are going to be ready to create. And that's from the Petal Park last week. Hi, Lori. I played with purple today, so I'm sure you're going to like these cards. So that is it from me for today. We have a nice hour in here with the Sentimental Park. This was part 2 of our Regency Suite look, so I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to know if you prefer the punch in the stamp set or the dies in the stamp set because they are totally, they work together, but they are totally different beasts in our stamping world. So that's my look at those. Next week, I'm going to come back with an entirely different class. We're going to take we're going to go away from the flowers for a little bit and we're going to do something fun. It's going to be fun next week. So make sure you come back. And thanks, Patty. I'm glad you liked the cards tonight. Come back and see me next Monday for another card class. Follow me over on Positive Paper Crafters this week. Of course, there's going to be a color swap. There's always a color swap. And I'm not telling you which of these cards will color swap. That's always the fun of it too. Like you're not sure which one. I will be sharing more samples from this suite as well. You're going to see emails from me. You're going to see blog posts from me. We're going to be all sentimental this week working on this great bundle. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I really appreciate it. I will answer questions in the comments if you have any, and I will see you next Monday at 8 o'clock for our live. Also Thursday, quick plug, Thursday at 3 is a thing. I'm going to be on Thursday at 3 live with a quick card tutorial as well. So that's it for me. Everyone, until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share that love. Bye.